Hi there, Pisces. Welcome to your love reading. Today we're going to go look at your general energies and we're going to look at who you're connecting to in love, how they feel about you, and what comes next in the connection. First card out is the Four of Wands. So next two cards out are the Five of Dragonflies and the Four of Beetles. So we're going to jump into clarifiers for these three general energies for you. And at the bottom we have the Hangman. So there's something here about looking for another perspective, trying to understand a situation from a different vantage point. I feel that some of you are in grieving or in disappointment at this time because of the Five of Dragonflies. Some of you might be mourning something that's missing or something that you've lost in this connection. This could have to do with an ex, but it doesn't have to be an ex. It could be somebody that you just recently had a separation from or that you're just not talking to because you guys had some kind of disagreement. We'll get the details in a minute, but with the Four of Wands here and the Four of Beetles, I feel that this has also been a connection that has progressed very slowly towards something more significant in your life. So it started as probably something more casual, and at this time things with this person had been progressing, Pisces, to a more intensified level of emotional investment. So that's kind of what I get from the general energies. Let's dive into the detail here. All right, your first card is the Knight of Cups, and along with that you get the Nine of Cups and the Five of Swords. So this is somebody who had originally proposed a union. This is somebody who has since disappointed you or said something that makes you feel like that is no longer possible, because we have here the Five of Swords. Something had to be given up or lost. So it feels like you were offered a connection or a commitment of some kind, and although it seemed like exactly what you wanted, it required some sort of sacrifice on your end that you may not be willing to go through with. And at the bottom we have the Death card. So this definitely could have to do with an ending or an impending ending for some of you. This could very well have to do with something here that's not jiving between the two of you. Although the feelings are there, the intentions were there for this to become something more invested and for this to be more long-lasting. Seems like at this juncture there's something that feels like pressure for either you or this person, and it's causing one of you to think that perhaps what you would have to give up to make this work is not worthwhile. Let's get a few clarifiers on this before we move to the Five. I don't want to be contacted right now. So yes, somebody has pulled away, somebody may be in no contact here, whether you decided to stop talking to this person or they decided to stop talking to you, or some of you may just be traveling at this time and may want to completely disconnect from social media or from your phone. But it seems like this is a reading for those of you who are in no contact at this time with someone that meant a lot to you, but for some reason you're at a stopping point here with this person. So let's clarify the Five of Dragonflies. At the bottom we have the Two of Swords. So there's a decision point that either is approaching or that you just recently went through in this connection. It had to do with your heart with the Ace of Cups. It had to do with your emotional investment in this person. We have the Queen of Cups and the Ace of Cups together, Pisces, and then the Tower. So just as you were deciding to open up your heart to this person, you feel like things came to a sudden and abrupt stop or ending. You feel that in some way you were betrayed. So it's almost like some truth was revealed here that was unexpected, that really changed how you perceived the possibility of this connection moving forward. And since then, it feels like there's been very little communication with this person. It feels like things are just at a complete stop. Like they went from progressing to suddenly no contact, no communication, no discussion. Let's get more on this 5 of Dragons. Okay, so we get struggle. You feel like you aren't being supported. So maybe this person wasn't pulling their weight in the relationship. Maybe they said the right things, but they weren't showing up properly. They weren't supporting you in some way. And then we get the ex-lover card with "You're always on my mind." For some of you, this is already in the past, but it's coming up because this person is still thinking about you, and they've been thinking about you a lot lately. So this is somebody that I think you've tried to cut off, either in the recent past, or for others of you, it could have been a few months back. But at this time, this person is strongly thinking about you. They're reflecting on how they didn't realize that you were super important to them. And now that you're having this pause, this distance, this no contact situation, they're having the experience of not having you in their life, and it's been kind of jarring for them. So they're thinking about you a lot. So if you're wondering to yourself, why did this person even come up in my reading? I'm over it. That's why. It's because they've been pretty consistently thinking about you lately. Let's finish by clarifying the 4 of Beetles. We got the 7 of Pentacles and the 4 of Wands. So that brings everything full circle for me in this reading. Basically, this is somebody who you really saw potential with at some point in the past. And you did put in a lot of effort into this connection. You wanted things to work out. Here's the 6 of Wands as the background energy. You were really surprised when you realized that nothing you were doing could really help this person take the actions they needed to make things work. And so I think, Pisces, this is a situation where you put an end to things because you didn't want to start a toxic cycle. You recognized that this person wasn't ready to provide the things that you would need in a relationship, in a romantic connection for you to feel good. They weren't ready or able to at the time when you dated them. And so I think you've given up on this, or you've put an end to this, and only now is this person actually reflecting on how much you meant to them and how the things you were asking of them were not out of this world. And so let's see what else comes out here to clarify the 4 of Beetles. I tried to run from this connection, but my soul craves you. Yeah, this is definitely somebody pining over you at this time. They may have pushed you away or sabotaged the connection, because I do see that you gave this a good shot. And there's a decision to be made here with the Crossroads card in the background. I think this person may have treated you like an option or wanted to keep their options open. Maybe they were afraid of commitment in general, afraid of settling down. But at this point, now that some time has passed since you guys have stopped talking, they're realizing that the grass is not always greener, and they're kicking themselves and realizing that you meant a lot more to them than they realized. And so that's really all that I have here. Let's see what your advice is from Spirit to close out your reading. Okay, you get keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. You get worth waiting for. Divine timings at work in your love life. And codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. Okay, so it's possible that this connection is a little bit toxic, that this person may not be ready at this time to repair things. They were somebody who took you for granted, basically, Pisces, and at this time they're coming to the realization that maybe although they didn't see you as their ideal partner back then, they're realizing maybe you were their ideal partner, maybe you were meant to be together, maybe you were meant to work things out, maybe you were meant to get married, meant to continue this connection. So I wouldn't be surprised if, for what comes next, this person reaches out to you, tries to reconnect. But beware of the fact that they may be reaching out because of codependency rather than because they're ready for this to move forward. So I don't know if you've been wanting to hear from them, but for those of you who do want to hear from this person, the advice here from Spirit is just to be cognizant of the fact that they may not have gone through repairing and doing the work to clear their codependent patterns, their anxious attachment, or their avoidant attachment, whichever they may have. They have some type of attachment style that is not healed. And so when this person comes back in, you have to really assess if they are ready to make the changes that are required for a happy ending, or if they're just coming in because they miss you, because they miss your energy, because they have ties to you energetically that have not been severed. All right. So keep that in mind and let me know in the comments if you have a question that you want me to do a bonus reading for. I'd be happy to do that for you. Thank you so much for being here, Pisces, and I'll catch you on the next one.